All right, everyone, at long last, the time has finally come for one of the biggest upgrades on any account. I've been able to play around with this a little bit on some other accounts that I've had access to. But yes, we have just unlocked tier 4 for the Ghost. Now, these are pretty important. Now, I did not understand this whatsoever when we were first starting to play the game. And that's really just kind of the nature of these games. You gotta kind of experience a lot of things. But one of the biggest upgrades with the inheritance system, and initially I was going for the Ranger because I was so focused on the daggers, is that you get access to these big ol' character nodes. Now, in between, as you see tier 2, 4, and 6, each one of them is going to give you a different hero. And that's an actual hero. And this is a huge upgrade because it goes in your hero slot. Don't know why. It took me a little while to figure this out when I was playing the game months and months ago. But if you'll notice here, we have the scout, we have the little bonelet, we have the little knight. And it's very obvious, I suppose, to some that unlock the inheritance, like, whoa, it looks like it shows up. But yes, you can slot this little guy in to your hero slots or whatever specific inheritance you want. Now, with that, it does require that respective books, and most importantly, it requires elite packs to upgrade, which is one of the reasons why I had not gone for it initially. And yes, you are kind of competing with some other options here, and some of them are pretty strong. But one of the big things is this only requires elite packs and your books to upgrade, and its base effect tends to be extremely powerful. So not only are you going to get a big skill damage, if I were to compare that to Spring Orchid, which is one thing that I'll be replacing, well, for one, I'm going to get a lot more attack bonuses just straight up. But instead of getting this, electrical damage, I'm now going to get straight up just skill damage, and I'm also going to get that 40% chance to stun. And that's huge. The stun chance, which is one of the reasons why you want to go Ghost Legacy in general, is incredible. It is a massive, massive bonus. Now, to be honest, though, the other hero that's actually really, really solid ends up being Windstrider. Getting a big ol' damage increase is also pretty nice. And eventually the Legendary Ranger. A lot of these heroes in general they're just really, really powerful. And this doesn't just apply to the Ghost Legacy, although most people are going to be going for the Ghost Legacy, mainly because it is considered the most powerful because of the CC chance and the ability to potentially cheese out some wins you otherwise wouldn't be able to. But if you look here, as I upgrade this, yes, the book cost is going to be decently expensive here as we accelerate. But arguably one of the most important factors for this is when I slot this on, this is just straight up a ton of additional stats that I otherwise most likely would not have been able to acquire. Let's say I upgrade this, right? Yes, I'm on Epic +2 on the Spring Orchid, but some of these heroes can be really difficult. And if you were not silly like me and you were able to, prioritize, going for the specific legacy that you actually wanted to, you can get this massive bonus even quicker. So as you can see with my total combat power here, I'm at 19.75 billion. This isn't going to be a major bonus, but it will give me a little bit here. Let's go ahead and equip this. Boom. That's a 0.5 billion combat power increase just because it's easier to upgrade. Now I know I'm going to need the ghost books, but what I can start doing now that I have no more ways to get books is kind of stop upgrading the ghost in some sense. I'm going to use the ghost to upgrade the actual hero for a little bit and try to get to mythic level potentially so that I can continue on with that path. And then in the meantime, still continue to collect the gold, but I just want to get this upgraded stats out of the way. And then I will return back for some more Ghost Legacy progression. Or what I could also do is with the Rogue here, I have him massively upgraded for my Whisperer. But when I transition over to the Sky Splitter, which is one of the goals I had, I can go ahead and de-level the Rogue and get a ton of these ghost books back. And of course, I'll be able to get some skeleton books back as well, keeping the Joker and the Wild Vulture. But I'll be transitioning over to ye ol' Pirate Swordsman, which is going to use some skeleton books. And I will maybe be going for the Undead Swordsman or potentially the Stone Guardian as a last slot. So I won't be needing as many ghost books contributed towards a brand. Instead, I can use it for my Ghost Legacy and my Crybaby here, which is going to be a big bonus. And this is overall just one of the biggest bonuses you can do for an account. And again, I missed out on it for a while because I made the silly mistake of going for a legacy that I thought was the stronger one, but in fact it was not. And of course they buffed it just after I committed hard onto the Ghost Legacy, but the Ghost Legacy is still largely considered the strongest for some of your most common builds, which the two most common ones are going to be your Sky Splitter and Whisper. If you're going to go down the Helos Warblade path, or the Blade of Justice, same weapon, then the Ghost is probably not going to be the one you want to go for. And then if you're going to go down the Nashir's Scepter, or your Divine or Reaper Staff rather build, you're probably still going to want to go for the Ghost. So it's just in general going to be one of the most powerful options for you, and it's something that I am going to be prioritizing for a long time if I can still do so. And honestly, I may just sit on my hero here, not focusing on upgrade, continue to upgrade the Ghost Legacy in terms of putting in the books, and then when I do transition from Whisper over to Sky Splitter, boom, I will go ahead and do all the changes that I need for that and de-level the rogue then. As you can see here, I am still not quite at Whisper mythic level, but I am very close. Very close. I am really just waiting on the actual fodder pieces for this, as that's really all I have left to commit towards that mythic Whisper. So in time, I will get there. In the next coming weeks, to be honest, I will be at that mythic Whisper, and then I can transition over to Sky Splitter and make all the changes that I really wanted. But guys, do not sleep on this. This is incredible. And remember, you do not have to use that legacy for you to use that hero. If you'll notice here in my inheritance, I still have the Ranger active, and that's because I put a lot more commitment into the Ranger in terms of these middle nodes that I have yet to put in the Ghost, because I already upgraded it so significantly. Now that I have the tier 4 Crybaby and invested into the Ghost Legacy a lot more, I'm going to be upgrading these middle nodes and getting this legacy activated, or this inheritance activated. But my main priority was to get to this tier 4 hero as the number 1. I really needed the tier 4 hero because that was kind of the biggest bonus of the Ghost Legacy. Yes, the Ghost Stall can be decent, but really that stun is what you're looking for. And eventually we will have the Ghost Princess, which is going to give me more stun chance, more skill damage reduction, more ignoring control immunity rate, which is huge for other CC effects. And that's going to be amazing. So I still want to get to that as soon as humanly possible. That said, let me know what you think in the comment section down below. Have you had any better experience with any other heroes? Let me know, and I'll see you all for the next one.